As predictable as night following day, a conversation around women's clothing in the beach volleyball follows the Olympic Games. This time it's been triggered mainly by the Egypt versus Spain game, where the Egyptian female competitors were dressed in hijabs, long sleeve black tops and leggings, basically only exposing their faces, whilst the Spanish competitors, who ultimately went on to win the game, were dressed in relatively small bikinis. And it's again raised a dispute about why women are being forced to wear such skimpy outfits to compete in the beach volleyball. Now the standard rhetoric and the standard arguments have reared their heads again, which is that it increases viewing figures, which I'm not disputing, and that it's done to satisfy the men watching, and there have also been counter-arguments, which I will come on to talk about. The thing is, it's a bit of a moot argument if we actually look at the facts. Since the 2012 Games in London, the range of outfits that women are allowed to wear by the IOC has been somewhat expanded for beach volleyball. They are able to wear the hijab and the long sleeve tops and the leggings. This was introduced to prevent the exclusion of countries that may have a religious belief, for example Islam, which would prevent them from competing if they had to wear the traditional bikini. It's also allowed them to wear t-shirts and shorts, as in the men's game. In fact, when France, I believe, competed this week, they actually donned a t-shirt and shorts underneath the traditional bikini, presumably in that sort of Superman form, because it put the country's colours, the team's colours, on the outside of the outfit. But still, they were wearing t-shirt and shorts just like the men's. However, we have still seen a large swathe of the women's volleyball teams donning the traditional bikini, and some of those are, dare I say, really rather skimpy. So why do they do this? Well, let's look at it from both sides. They say, some of these people that complain about these outfits, that it's done to increase viewing figures and to appease male sexual appetite. It drives men to go and watch this sport, come for the outfit, stay for the sport. Dare I say, or dare I suggest, that in such a high-tech world, in such a connected world where nearly everyone has almost instantaneous access to the internet and all that it contains, there are probably very few men who, to satiate a need to look at attractive young women in skimpy outfits, are turning on the Olympic Games in the hope they might be showing reruns of the beach volleyball. And from a women's perspective, and this has actually been spoken about by many female volleyball players, the outfit of the traditional bikini outfit has many practical reasons. If you're diving around on sand, as many have explained, then the chances are that you will get sand stuck in your outfit. And if you're wearing a one-piece, or even more than that, leggings or a full-length top or whatever, the chances of getting sand caught and not being able to get it out, certainly not in a timely or, dare I say, dignified way, whilst in the middle of a game, means that it's likely to be a disadvantage to you during the game, during the match. It's likely to be distracting, and it's likely to limit your performance. There is, of course, the argument as well about freedom of movement in smaller outfits, because your limbs are less restricted, and in a sport where you tend to throw yourself about a lot, that is definitely an advantage. I just don't understand why we have to continually have these arguments year after year, Olympics after Olympics, people looking for a problem and trying to find someone to blame for said problem when there is no problem. Women can effectively wear almost whatever they want for the beach volleyball, obviously with certain restrictions, but we are still perpetuating this narrative that it's done to drive engagement. Now, don't get me wrong, my local pub has the Olympics on all the time. Well, obviously whilst it's running. And if the beach volleyball or women's beach volleyball happens to come on, yes, there will be some of the cliched, blokey comments about, oh, now we're talking, I'm much more interested in the Olympics now. All that sort of cliched, blokey nonsense, right? But you can't convince me that there are men that are recording the beach volleyball or tuning in specifically to see women in skimpy outfits. Rightly, or indeed probably wrongly, you can see women in skimpy outfits anywhere, on any device. You don't need to be tuning in to a sporting competition. That's in essence what it is. Whether you deem beach volleyball a worthy sport for the Olympics is a different topic altogether. But to continue to have this conversation every Olympics, now that there has been a resolution between the groups that campaign for it and the Olympic Committee, so that there is a greater variety of outfits that women can wear. Surely that's true equality. And also, just to point out, what about swimming? What about diving? What about gymnastics? In many of these events, the outfits for men and for women and for men are much skimpier or just as bad. All right, and the blokes have been pointed out for the size of their trunks in the diving and the swimming and all the rest of it, and I don't see them complaining about the extra coverage maybe it gets. In fact, some of them have seemingly gone to make OF accounts and make a bit of money off the side of it, and that's not for me to comment on, is it?